as a fan of the great sport of football, you have the possibility. First of all, I have to put out a disclaimer before I even start talking. I'm wearing a Bills jersey. I'm not a Bills fan. I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan, huge Carolina Panthers fan. I just have the Bills jersey and it kind of fits in to the storyline of this video, so that's why I'm wearing it. But you have the opportunity as the NFL to have one of the greatest storylines, AFC championships, probably the two most cursed teams in the whole league. You have the Cleveland Browns, who got their own franchise taken away from them. They've never made an AFC championship before, never have gone through to the playoffs like this. They have been cursed for centuries. They've been cursed for decades, centuries, millenniums, whatever you want to call it. This team has had a history to be terrible. And then finally this season, where Kevin Stefanski comes in, he looks like he has the whole franchise turned around. They're going to the playoffs. They're taking on the number one Chiefs. Like, this is the best team in football, the defending Super Bowl champions. And you go out there as the NFL, the refs, that call, first of all, I have to talk about, and you already have the Buffalo Bills into the playoffs. I mean, into that AFC championship game winning last night, who also is one of the most cursed teams in all of sports. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. They've never won a Super Bowl before. And those might be the two most passionate fan bases about their own respective teams. The Buffalo Bills fan base and the Cleveland Browns fan base, two of the best in all of sports in terms of passion, in terms about how much they care about their team, in terms of loyalty for all that both of those franchises have had to go through the last decades of years to get to this point where you had the chance where you could have either one of these teams playing for a Super Bowl bid and to go on and to win their first Super Bowl. The fact that there was a call, which is a call that the NFL has put in place for player safety. First of all, whatever. Targeting, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm just neutral on it. If you want to put the call in place, then fine. I want you to make that call every single time it happens. Every single time that there's a targeting on field, I want you to make that call. If you don't think that there should be targeting in the league, don't put the rule in. Don't call it. Leave it as it is. Let the players play. But if you aren't going to call an obvious call where a player lowers the crown of his helmet directly into another player's helmet, like it's not even a question. Like, I'll show up the picture on the screen right now. There is undeniably no proof that is not targeting. There's no way that you could talk to me and be like, oh yeah, that's not targeting. It's not targeting if you lower your head, launch your body at him right into the side of his helmet. You're going to tell me that's not targeting? Like, just let me hear it in the comments right now, because that would be the most bullcrap answer I would have ever heard. There's no chance that is not targeting. If you don't want to put targeting in the league, the NFL, don't put it in the league. I don't care. Get rid of the rule. Then that's a fine hit. That's a clean hit. I'm not here complaining to you guys about that call. But if you're going to put the rule in place and you're the NFL refs and you're not going to call that just because the Chiefs are the number one team in the league and you're trying to get them into the next round, that's it. You ruined what I was so excited for, to have the Cleveland Browns and Buffalo Bills teams play in the AFC Championship game just as a football fan. And I know that is what most of America wanted. If you're not a Chiefs fan, that is what most of America wanted. Like, to have the Bills and the Browns set up in the AFC Championship, I cannot predict a better, just a more amazing atmosphere. You're going to have the game in Buffalo. So not only, like, the Chiefs have already had their fun. No disrespect to the Chiefs. The Chiefs, you guys won the Super Bowl last year. You guys have had your fun already. The Bills would be hosting this AFC Championship game, the last home game before the Super Bowl, which is a neutral site. The fans and the city of Buffalo would be absolutely buzzing. That place would be absolutely insane. If you thought Kansas City was insane today, Buffalo was unbelievable last night. And that was the divisional round. This would have been the championship round for the Buffalo Bills, having them at home. And you would have had the Cleveland Browns come in, who's been the underdogs the last couple games. A team that Baker Mayfield, a team that just plays with that underdog chip the whole time. It would have been the greatest football game in centuries, and no matter who would have won that game, you would have felt good for them, because unless you're a fan of either of those teams, you would have felt good because the storyline and everything just makes it so much better. I don't care what happens on the NFC side, but the fact that game had to come down to a no touchdown call because he fumbled it through the end zone after he got whacked in the helmet by Sorenson Rashad Higgins catches the ball, he turns, he tries to fight for the pylon, gets nailed in the side of the head. Like, there's no chance. You see this Riddell speed flexes. They have that little hexagon thing on the top of their helmets. That clearly, like, it's not even question, clearly hit. That is the crown of the helmet right there. You have a clear image on the helmet. It's telling you right there, like, look, a little hexagon to show you, look, this is the crown of my helmet, and anything above that is the crown of my helmet. If I make forcible contact with this to the other player's helmet on the side of his helmet, that is targeting. The fact that the NFL refs blew that is just beyond me, because that is terrible. Like, I was livid after that play happened, even just as a football fan, because I know how much it meant to the Browns and how much it meant to the Browns fans for that to happen and for them to be so close in this game. I know that all you Browns fans are out there doing the exact same thing right now, ranting about this. I'm just a football fan. I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I'm a big Bears fan. My rant last week happened about why the Bears lost. We sucked. They're terrible. I had to live on with it. It's my life. But as a football fan and as someone who knows and connects himself so emotionally to some of these teams, like especially the Bears, if I would have had to lose in that fashion, in a call like that, where the NFL puts that in place for a reason, and you're not going to call that in the biggest game of the season to this point, why do you have the rule? Why do you have the rule? The NFL's got to do something. Like, you're either making that call, take targeting out after this game. If you want to risk the player safety or whatever. It is what it is. That's the NFL's decision. I cannot do that. I think that targeting is a good thing. Not physically, I think that the rule is a good thing to try to prevent targeting from happening, because it withstands how long these players can go out and play for. But if you're not going to call it, don't make a rule about it. It's that simple. Like, something's got to change. That was the worst call maybe I've seen in a long time, ever since the New Orleans Chiefs pass interference call. Although I was cheering for the Rams in that game because I hate the Saints, and I wasn't complaining at all like this. But for someone who wanted the Browns to win, for someone who wanted the greatest storyline football game in the history of the NFL to happen, and maybe it could all even gone on to be the Bills or the Browns, two teams who have never won a Super Bowl, to Brady and the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Whatever happens right now in the game, I'm not watching it. I don't even know if it's on now, but I'm going to watch it as soon as that comes on after I'm done filming this video. Football, man, the NFL, it's the same with the unnecessary roughnesses. It's the same with the QB hits. Like, some of those calls have just been terrible all season. The worst officiated league in all of sports. Like, it is terrible, even worse than the NBA. And the NBA has some of the, like, watching basketball games is terrible because you see some of the absolutely weakest calls in the world in the NBA. But if you're not going to call something that is an obvious penalty, why do we play the games? Why do you make that rule? Just let's go back to backyard football and let's just go anything goes. I think that the next two games are the next games for the rest of the NFL season. Make the Super Bowl just yard rules where you could do anything. You can nail someone before they touch the ball. You can do pass interference, all of that. Why? Just why? Sounding like someone who a bunch of my friends would know if they're watching this video. Why? 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 The NFL refs need to go take a good look in the mirror right now. They need to go take a good look at the rear mirror and reverse that call. That is terrible. That's all for this video. That's my rant, but that is a terrible call. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Like down below, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and definitely come back next time.